Hello and welcome back. It's been a minute, but I am here for you with another full body workout. We're doing light weights. I know a lot of you just getting into doing some exercise and lifting a little bit of weight, and you probably don't have a bunch of selection at home. Maybe you just have a pair of, 10-pound dumbbells or 5-pound dumbbells, and you're like, well, what can I do with this? There's not much I can do with this. Don't worry, there's plenty you can do. The key is moving with intention, moving slowly and through a full range of motion, and whenever possible, this is my cat Jenny, by the way, doing single-sided movements. So today we're going to do a lower body superset and then an upper body superset. We're doing a reverse lunge with a knee drive and then a 1 1/4 squat. Then in our upper body round, we're going to do a lateral raise around the world and an upright row. So lower body will hit pretty much all the major muscle groups of the lower body, plus some core work because we're doing reverse lunges. And upper body, also going to be a fair amount of core work. And I'll show you how to level it up a little bit if you want to include more core work than less. And now she hasn't quite come on screen yet, but my other cat, Hazel, is about to join us. So for our warm up, we are going to do a body weight round of our first two exercises for the lower body. That way we can kind of jump right into it and get moving. So reverse lunge, big step back, lower yourself between your knees, come back up and bring that knee up, the back knee. And then we're going to switch. Big step back, lower yourself between your feet, and then big step forward with a knee drive. We're going for 12. This is 4. Now, I know a lot of people don't like lunges. Nobody likes lunges. I don't like lunges. It's 10. They say it hurts their knees or makes them feel uncoordinated. And yeah, it does take a little bit of work to get the technique of a lunge down, but it's worth it. It works the core so much. It really, you can target it to either attack the booty cheeks more or the thighs more, depending on how you set it up, which I'll explain. It's a great exercise, and you can do it with light weights and still get a great workout for your legs. Okay, 1 1/4 squat. We're going all the way down, a little pulse up, down, and stand all the way up. All the way down, pulse, and up. If for some reason the pulse bothers you, you can do a hold instead. You can just hold for a breath and then come up. Notice I'm moving nice and slowly. That's making sure I'm recruiting as much muscle fiber as possible. And it's making sure I'm getting a full range of motion. Therefore, I'm keeping more time under tension. And that is what we need to build muscle. We need to be stimulating it. Now, as far as foot position is concerned, I have long femur, so I like to have a slightly wider stance and slightly rotated out. As you're coming down, you want to think about kind of pushing your knees out. You don't want your knees caving in. If you're more comfortable, you can certainly do a narrower squat. You're just not going to have quite as much range of motion, and that's going to be a little more thigh dominant. I wasn't counting. I don't count. I'm going to assume that was 12. So we're going to pick up our weights. If you don't have weights, that's cool. You already did the exercises. You know what they feel like. You know that if you do enough of them, you're going to get a decent workout in. I do. These are 7.5 pounds. These are my handles. So I already did leg day today. I don't need to lift heavy, but I wanted you to see you can get a great workout with light weights as long as you're doing the right exercises. So let's go. Big step back, Take your time going down, power coming back up, and bring that knee up. 4. This is 8. One more each leg. Right? 12? I think I counted right. Deep breath. We're going to go right into the squats. So, holding your weights. You can hold your weights on the outside of your legs. So kind of like a suitcase squat. You can kind of rest them on your shoulders. Or what I'd prefer you do is hold it more of a front rack position. So holding the weights in front of your shoulders. So they're not resting. So you're actively keeping the weights where they are. This will engage more core so that you don't topple forward from the weights being in front. Also, for someone like me with longer femurs, it helps me stay a little more upright, gives me a little bit of counterbalance, because otherwise I tend to hinge quite a bit when I squat because I have long femurs. I am not counting. I think that's 7. Once again, we're moving nice and slowly. Nice little pulse at the bottom. Is that 9? We'll say 2 more. 1 more. Beautiful. All right, put the weights down. Shake it out a little bit. I am feeling it. So I mentioned in the warm-up that you can bias lunges towards either more of the glute or more of the quad. You do that by how much you're hinging forward. So when you're coming down, if you're hinged forward and your chest is more over your knee, that's going to put more bias towards the glutes of the front leg. If your torso stays a little more upright, that's going to hit more quad. Neither of them is right nor wrong. It just depends on what your goal is for any particular exercise session. And the other thing I want to make sure is that you're contracting the core. Pretend like someone's about to punch you, and you know how you're going to, tighten everything to try to protect. I want you to think about that anytime you're lifting weight. Pretend someone's about to punch you, contract, get that core engaged, and then move on with the exercise. It'll make a huge difference. Huge, huge difference. And you'll notice that you can lift heavier if you have the opportunity to lift heavier weights. Okay, so let's go back to our reverse lunge. We're going to do 3 rounds total with the weights. So this is our second round. Ready? For these lunges, you can hold them in a front rack position also if you'd like. Make sure you're contracting your core. I actually just had to remind myself to do that. So if you notice, I'm keeping my trunk a little more upright. My right knee, actually, during my workout today, started bothering me a little bit. So I'm babying it a little bit. And as long as I keep my torso a little more upright, it is not bothering me. I'm never going to tell you to work through pain. Muscle soreness, that's different. Unfortunately, this morning I had pain under my kneecap, which I've never had before, but seems to be improving. I think that's 8. Let's say that's 10, 11, 12. And if you notice, I didn't skip my workout because I was having some soreness. I modified. Normally, for my Wednesday workout, I do single leg squats. But after the first round, the first time I tried it, my second round, my knee was like, today. So I modified. And instead, I did some straddle squats and some regular suitcase squats. And I was actually, obviously, now I can do lunges. So it's pretty much worked itself out just with some activity modification. Okay, let's do this. 12. Nice and slow. Contract your core. Squeeze your muscles on the way up. Also, I would like to mention, not everybody, especially when they first start working out, necessarily can quote unquote feel the muscles they're exercising when they're exercising. That doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean you're not engaging those muscles. It's just your body hasn't quite recognized what you're doing yet. Hi, Hazel. Let's say that's 6, 7, 8. I am feeling this. 9. Did you hear her? 2 more. Beautiful. Also notice the rep range we're doing. We're doing 12 repetitions of everything. Typically, the lighter the weights you have, the more repetitions you need to do to stimulate muscle growth. So in order to get stronger, you need to practice what's called progressive overload. Progressive overload is basically making the exercise harder and harder. Typically, if you're in a gym setting, that's adding weight. If you're not in a gym setting and you don't have a bunch of weights to choose from, that's okay. You can still practice progressive overload. It involves full range of motion, getting lower. It includes adding pauses, time under tension. It includes adding repetitions. So if we're talking about lighter weights, we're talking about rep ranges between like 12 and 20. And no, 20 isn't too many, because if you can do 12 bicep curls at a specific weight super easy, you're not going to stop there and expect to get stronger for the next time. You have to challenge it. You have to feel that difficulty. So you got to keep bumping up the reps. If you don't have the weight, you got to bump up the reps. And that's why we are doing some single-legged work, because that's how we are increasing the weight, relatively speaking, and therefore the resistance. Okay, we have our last set. I'll face this way this time. Reverse lunge, knee drive, 12 repetitions. Contract that core, set your shoulders, let's go. Five, 9, 11, 12. Beautiful. I actually recorded this workout last week also, but I forgot to put my microphone on and everything wound up all garbled. You couldn't hear anything. So I wound up just using it as little demonstrations on YouTube, but I tested it this time. We should be good. Got my mic on. Okay, we have our last set of squats. Then we're going to move on to upper body. And we are about to get to the part of the program where I am too warm wearing a sweatshirt. So I'm going to have to pause you after this set so that I can stop sweating quite so much. All right, ready? 12 squats. 1 1/4 squats. So for the squat, you want to be getting your glutes, your buns, your hip crease below your knee, ideally speaking. That's how you're going to get your full range of motion. That's how you're going to get the most muscle recruit. If you can't get that low to begin with, that's fine, but don't increase any weight until you can. And you might, some people have tight ankles, so they need to work on some ankle mobility before they can get a full range squat. And that's okay. Sarah, how do I work on my ankle mobility? I will show you in a moment. I think I forgot to pulse this in. Say 8, 10, 11, 12. Ankle mobility, you can come down into a deep squat. Kind of shuffle or shift back and forth. That's a great way to start, and it's also a great way to open up your hips a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pause you just briefly so I can switch out and get a little more comfortable temperature-wise, and I'll be okay. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, we're moving on to the upper body portion. So we'll do our body weight warm-up. So we're doing around the world, lateral raise around the world. So starting all the way at the bottom, coming all the way so you meet at the top. Now, if you don't have weights and you want to add to some challenge here, the key is squeezing your muscles, like resisting yourself rather than just lifting your arms. You're going to fight against yourself lifting your arms. I know you can't tell, but I'm squeezing all of my shoulder muscles doing that, and I'm definitely feeling a difference. If that is like, what the heck are you talking about, Sarah? That doesn't make any sense. Also, squeeze your lower body. As I'm standing here, I'm squeezing my thighs, I'm squeezing my glutes. I have my core engaged. You can narrow your stance 1 foot in front of the other to work on balance as well. You can even do single leg stance to work on it. As long as you contract your core, you're going to feel it a lot more challenging in your lower body. You're going to feel those little foot muscles working overtime. Oh, wait, let me go. But it's a great way to increase the challenge without adding weight. Okay, next we're doing an upright row. So weights are going to start in front and you're going to pull up. Elbows lead the way, like you're zipping up a zipper. So zip, that kind of a thing. You can do this one arm at a time. You can alternate. Not really necessary for this one though. Once again, stand on 1 foot. You could hold it into a little squat. Make sure you contract your core. You can even, for this one specifically, you can hinge forward just a little bit and you'll get a little more delt engagement. Okay. So I'm going to warn you, this one, we did it without weights and you're like, this is going to be easy. It's a shoulder burner. It is a lot of shoulders. It's some biceps. It's a little bit of upper trap and upper like rhomboid. So, but it's a lot. It's a lot of deltoid. Okay. So choose your stance. It can be shoulder width, slight bend in the knee. It can be feet together. It can be muscles squeezed. It can be single leg. It can be 1 foot in front of the other, whatever you want. I'm going to go with single leg. We're going for 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch after 5. Nice and slow. 5. Whew, lost my balance there a little bit, but I got it. 9, 10. Whew, I'm not gonna lie, I am regretting the pants choice. I wish I were wearing shorts, but here we are. All right, we're moving on to the upright row. Now, you're probably already feeling it a little bit in the bicep. Shoulder, you're gonna feel it more. Upright row time. I'm gonna do a close stance this time. Slight hinge. Going for 10 again. Contract your core. 6, 7, 10. Beautiful. All right, we'll take a break. We're going to go through that 2 more times, and then we are good to go. What are we at? I was hoping to keep this under 20. Not quite. I talked too much at the beginning, I think. But what you can do with this workout is you can split it up. You could do it as a burnout round. If you already did, leg day, just do the first half of this as a leg burnout. If you already did upper body day and you want a burnout, just do the second half of this and do upper body burnout. It can be a brief, 30-minute full body routine. It can be whatever you want it to be. It's a great routine. It's hitting so many muscle groups. You're going to feel it tomorrow, and you're going to be really happy you did it. I have never finished a workout and been like, oh God, I wish I hadn't done that. Ever, ever. The only workouts you regret are the ones you didn't do. And I'm not just saying that to be cliche. It's true. All right. Let us get moving with these around the worlds again. I'm going one single leg again. Nice and slow. Now, if you have the availability to exercise in front of a reflective surface like a mirror, I suggest you do that. And it's not because of conceit or vanity. It's because you can see, let's switch if you're doing one leg, you can see your body moving. You might be able to get an idea of, wait a minute, that looks a little funky. That's not what Sarah looks like. What am I doing wrong? Also, for the vain part of you, you get to see the muscles contracting. I think that was 4. I think one more. Now, obviously, I'm in front of my camera here, but right here, I have my mirror, and it really helps. I don't always use it, but especially for upper body stuff, I like to see what is happening. I like to see my deltoids. I like to see my chest. I like to see all that. Okay, we ready? Upright row. Shoulders up, back, and down. Contract the core. Looking in the mirror right now, I can see my biceps and my delts as I come up. I can see my abs contracted. 6, 7. Contract that core. 8. One more. Beautiful. Whew. And whatever you do, As you get to the end, you're going to want to speed up because it's getting hard and you're going to want to just crank them out and be done. Don't do that. That's when you start using momentum and you're not necessarily using your muscle power to get the weights moving. And that's just silly. That's just wasting time. Okay, so I hope you're starting to feel it. I know I am. I'm glad that today was legs day and not upper body day. We're gonna do some more of these light dumbbell workouts, and we'll talk more about how to get the most bang for your buck when you don't have a lot of weights. Like I said, it's a lot of single-sided stuff. It's a lot of slow, deliberate movements. It's a lot of higher repetition movements. And to be quite honest, if you're doing these and you're getting through 10 reps and not really feeling it, not breaking a sweat, then bump it up to 12, bump it up to 15. Just make sure whatever you do on one side, you do on the other side. Okay, last round of lateral raise around the world. Once again, I'm doing one leg. If for some reason going all the way up is bothering your shoulders, and ideally, if your palms should be facing out, so it's actually putting your shoulder in the best position to minimize injury. But if for some reason it's bothering, you can stop at shoulder height. You don't need to go all the way up. It just gives a little more work to the biceps. I think I actually did an extra. Okay, switch. 2 more. I am having to fight to go slow because this is really starting to burn. Beautiful. Oh, are you sick of hearing me say beautiful? Because you're going to have at least one more. Now, I'm not including a cool down in this workout. Let's move on. So, what you can do is a little bit of jogging in place, go for a short walk, do some laps around your home, something to help your heart rate come back down slowly. You can do some stretching. I have a mobility routine on my YouTube channel. Feel free to throw that on after this. Do some of those stretches to help get everything limber and loose afterward. I think there's 2 more. When you're done with this, especially if this is a newer workout or if you'd use this as a burnout, you might feel like the pump. You might feel like your muscles are big and that you're stiff or whatever. And that's just from increased blood flow to the muscles you're working. Super normal. It's actually, yeah, a little bit of proof that, yeah, you were doing what you were supposed to be doing and your muscles were working. So that's good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. So like I said, do a little cool down on your own, do some jogging in place, do some pacing, do some mobility work. Check out my mobility video. I think it's 10 minutes, something like that. And I will see you next time. Bye. Great job today.